I've been playing this game for a long time at this point, and throughout all the years that I've played it, there were several small things that I found that I thought were quite interesting, but never made videos for them for some reason. I guess I didn't think they deserved their own videos or something. So I've decided to clump together a lot of random stuff that I thought you guys might be interested in seeing and just put them in this video that you're about to watch. They just basically revolve around finding different ways to break Tomb Raider Anniversary, which is obviously something completely new here, right? This game isn't broken at all. So yeah, let's get right to it. The first thing that we're going to take a look at is something that we call wrong warp. It basically means that there are certain checkpoints in this game that if you trigger them and then load them, Lara will be teleported to a place she's not supposed to be teleported to. If you've been watching my videos for some time now, you've probably watched a speedrun that I did on a level of this game called Obelisk of the Commune. And in this run, you basically start the level, you kill Lara as soon as you have the chance, and she will be teleported to Croft Manor, where you'll be able to do like a back handspring against some door and just finish the level. And the game will think that you've finished Obelisk of the Commune instead of Croft Manor, which is insane, but yeah. So that's known. But what you guys might not know is that that's not the only level in which you can do that. If you load up the level, The Lost Valley, and do something similar, right? I'm gonna like reload my weapons here in order to do bug jumps in order to kill Lara. And you have to kill her really quickly, otherwise you will trigger a checkpoint and the glitch will not work. So basically, if you've done it right, guess what happens? You get teleported to Croft Manor again, and from here you can just, go up to the music room, backwards handspring against the door and finish the level. Or you could, finish the level normally and the game will still think that you finished The Lost Valley, which is crazy, but yeah. The next thing that we're gonna talk about is the super jump. Okay, so as far as I know, there are only two people who were able to do this in the game, and that's me and another Brazilian player called Appel. Like, here's a clip of me doing it back in 2015. I wasn't planning to do this at all. It happened completely by accident, and we were never able to replicate this in mountain caves for some reason. That's where we did it back then. But there is a place in this game where you can actually perform super jumps consistently, if that's the right word, and it's this spot right here in the city of Vilcabamba level. So you just basically have to jump over here and this happens. I think that might have something to do with the fact that you do need to perform a longer jump in this section in order to, reach the meta pack over there, and maybe the game is just trying to help you with that. I don't know, but looks pretty cool. Now we're going to the Sphinx room in Sanctuary of the Scion. The thing is, in this game, enemies are not supposed to respawn after you trigger a checkpoint and then die, right? So here I'm killing these birds or whatever they are, and as you can see, the kill count reads 2, so that's correct, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna trigger a checkpoint, right? There's one over there in the left side of the room, and after we do that, we're gonna, as usual, obviously kill Lara. And the thing is, after we did that, those birds were not supposed to be there anymore, just like any other enemy in the game, right? You kill them, you trigger a checkpoint, you reload that checkpoint, and they should be gone forever. But in this case, if we climb the pillar again and go up to that section, they will actually be there again. They will have respawned, and the game is still counting them as legitimate kills, as you can see right here in my kill count, which reads 4 at this point. So that's kind of weird, but yeah. There's something else in this room that's pretty interesting. At this point in the game, you're not supposed to have the submachine guns yet, as you can see in my inventory right here. If you're playing normally, of course, if you're in replay level mode, you'll have them. But this is the place where you're supposed to pick them up for the first time, and if you notice, actually the one on the left disappeared first, and then the one on the right did, which is, you know, not something that we should worry about, I guess. However, if you, again, trigger a checkpoint, kill Lara, reload the checkpoint, and go back to the Sphinx head, here's something that shouldn't be happening, which is the fact that there's still a submachine gun there, the one that was on the right before. It has basically respawned, right? If you noticed, the first time I picked them up, I had 50 bullets, that's 25 for each magazine, and now we have 75, right? And unlike the birds that we killed before, they don't respawn forever, unfortunately. So the max amount of bullets that you can take here is 75. By the way, now that we're on the Sphinx head, there's something that you might not know, which is nice, which is the fact that there is some sort of secret camera angle if you stand on the snake that's on the top of the Sphinx head. It goes very far, like much farther than it would usually go if you were, you know, playing normally. You could just look, you could, you know, take screenshots of it, whatever. So yeah, it's pretty cool. We're back at city of Vilcabamba, and if you have an explanation for what's about to happen, please let me know, because this is absolutely ridiculous. You'll see, like, it makes no sense whatsoever. Basically, have a look. I'm not glitching or anything. I'm just walking around this platform and nothing's happening. Then we're gonna jump onto that vertical pole. Then we're supposed to finish the level by going to the hallway over there. But if we go back to that previous platform that we were standing on and start airwalking, look what happens. A bat shows up. Yeah. And it's only gonna show up if you airwalk over that area or if you bug jump over that area. So basically, that's a bat that's only going to spawn if you're using glitches. Yeah. So it suits the game, I guess. Now, we obviously couldn't leave the Boulder in Tomb of Qualopec out of this video because it's basically the best glitch that this game has to offer, so of course it's here. Everybody knows about it though, like everybody's seen it, and essentially there are two reactions that Lara can have by interacting with the Boulder. She can, you know, just casually die, or sometimes she flies around all over the place. The second one is far better in terms of visual effects, right? So it's kind of rare to pull off. Like, you're not gonna get this many times if you're messing around with the Boulder. But after playing around with it for a while, I did find a way to make this type of death consistent, and I'm going to show you that right now. Just in case you don't know, I'm going to do just a quick tutorial on how to make the Boulder glitch in the first place. What you have to do is, just after you've arrived at the main hall of the Tomb of Qualopec, you're not going to trigger the Boulder yet. Instead, you're going to airwalk or bug jump to one of the side hallways, and you're going to trigger a checkpoint. After you do that, you're going to trigger the Boulder, and you're going to move as fast as you can to the checkpoint that's right at the beginning of right at the entrance, I should say, of the main hall. Then you'll watch Lara gracefully dying, and if you've done it correctly, after you get back, the Boulder will just be standing there, waiting for you to do something with it, which obviously we are going to. That's basically how you glitch the Boulder. Now we're gonna do something that's gonna make the flying death consistent. And the first thing that we need to do is to push the Boulder off of the bridge thing in the middle to the left side of the room if you're facing the place where the Scion is. So we're gonna, climb over there, jump onto the boulder and slide on it to make it move, and then it's gonna fall. Then we're gonna just trigger this checkpoint over here just in case something goes wrong. And after that, we're going to drop down to where the boulder is, and we're gonna push this box thing around until it's like against the boulder and facing the left hallway. You'll know what I mean in a second. You need to play around with it for a while because the boulder just keeps moving. I always find it fascinating how this was never intended to happen, right? You're never supposed to interact with the boulder other than just, getting crushed by it while it's moving. It's not supposed to be standing still like this, but it still has all of the, animations working perfectly, which is pretty dope, to be honest. So yeah. This is the position in which you want to leave the box in. Then after you do that, you're going to get back to the upper level and you're going to trigger the checkpoint on the left hallway, and you're gonna save your game, name it whatever you want to name it, and now you have an endless source of fun with the boulder. Check it out. You can actually take this whole situation a step further, believe it or not. If you're lucky and the boulder throws Lara in a way that she triggers the checkpoint at the entrance of the main hall, you can actually save the position of both the box and the boulder at the time the checkpoint was triggered. And this will happen. What's weird is that even though that box is just floating there, it's still actually working, if you know what I mean. It's still obeying the physics of the game. Okay? Yeah. One more to the list. The last thing we're gonna see today is something in Obelisk of the Commune again, and this is probably not even worth mentioning. It's something completely stupid and completely useless, but let's just mention it. You would think that if she dropped down from this ledge, she would just fall to her death, right? After all, she's way too high here, but this happens instead. Yeah, she's just grabbing nothing on the wall. My guess is that they made this quote-unquote gap to help you get to the higher area, but since Lara ends up not needing to use it, they decided to take it out, but just remove the texture for it and forgot to remove the rest. Or maybe this gap was supposed to be here and they just forgot to add the texture instead. It's probably one or the other. So that is it for today's video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. I will definitely be doing a part 2 of this because there are still some interesting things that I think you might like seeing. So stay tuned for that. And I'll see you guys next time then. Have a good day.